Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin in 2 minutes. Please begin to find your seats. We ask at this time that you either turn off or silence all electronic devices. As a reminder, today's ceremony is considered an outdoor ceremony. We ask that you observe all customs and courtesies. All service members are required to wear headgear. Good morning, distinguished guests, soldiers, family, and friends. On behalf of Colonel Scott B. Kinder, the commander of the 16th Sustainment Brigade, and Command Sergeant Major Jacqueline Becerra, welcome to the 39th Transportation Battalion Change of Command Ceremony. Today we honor Lieutenant Colonel Brandon H. Huntington, who relinquishes command of the 39th Transportation Battalion to Lieutenant Colonel Matthew C. Rivera. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to recognize our distinguished guests that are here with us today. Colonel Scott B. Kinberg, Colonel Joshua D. Hirsch, Colonel Brad Bain, Colonel Matthew Anastasi, Lieutenant Colonel Charles DeGoyer, Command Sergeant Major Jacqueline Becerra, Command Sergeant Major Kenneth Hood, Command Sergeant Major Philip Martin, Command Sergeant Major Christopher Constantino, and Command Sergeant Major John Thompson. Taking part in today's ceremony is the commander of the 16th Sustainment Brigade, Colonel Scott B. Kinberg, the outgoing commander of the 39th Transportation Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Brandon H. Huntington, the incoming commander of the 39th Transportation Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Matthew C. Rivera, and Command Sergeant Major Ricky M. Noy, 39th Transportation Battalion Command Sergeant Major. The commander to today's ceremony is Major Michael J. Watkins, the Battalion Executive Officer, 39th Transportation Battalion. Units of brigades are really participating in today's ceremony as viewed from left to right are Headquarters and Headquarters Detachment, 39th Transportation Battalion, commanded by Captain Nama K. Bajay. The detachment sergeant is Sergeant First Class Brenda M. Sanchez. The 1st Inland Cargo Transfer Company, commanded by Captain Alexander J. Lovely. The 1st Sergeant is First Sergeant Carlos E. Vargas. 260th Transportation Detachment, commanded by Captain Zachary A. Zanetti. The detachment sergeant is Sergeant First Class Stephen M. Schultz. 355th Transportation Detachment, commanded by Captain Morgan L. Paz. The detachment sergeant is Sergeant First Class Iwanta U. Flemings. 386th Transportation Detachment, commanded by Captain Christian Enriquez. The detachment sergeant is Sergeant First Class Jeremiah Richard. 624th Transportation Detachment, commanded by Captain Walter B. Dubin. The detachment sergeant is Sergeant First Class Durrell T. Holman. 627th Transportation Detachment, commanded by Captain Alberto Quintero. The detachment sergeant is Sergeant First Class Richard Hernandez. 635th Transportation Detachment, commanded by Captain John D. Lee. The detachment sergeant is Sergeant First Class Thomas N. Adams. Centered on the field is the 39th Transportation Battalion Color Guard under the direction of the 39th Transportation Command Sergeant Major Ricky M. Noy. Ladies and gentlemen, Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the invitation given by the 39th Transportation Battalion Chaplain, Captain Talon Z. Erickson. The official party for today's ceremony consists of Colonel Scott B. Hinbert, the commander of the 16th Stinger Brigade, Lieutenant Colonel Brandon H. Cunningham, the outgoing commander, and Lieutenant Colonel Matthew C. Rivera, the incoming commander of the 39th Transportation Battalion.
Good morning. I invite you to pray with me, Lord Faith Tradition, soundtrack is mine. Dear Heavenly Father, come before you today to celebrate and honor Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Cunningham successful completion of command as we conduct this change of command ceremony this morning. We thank you for his leadership, wisdom, and compassion as the commander of the 39th Movement Control Battalion. We ask now for your continued blessing on him and his family. We ask for a special blessing rests on his wife Kristen and their sons Chase and Mason. Father, may Lieutenant Colonel Cunningham look back at his command and hear you say, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in few things, I will put you in charge of many. Come and share in your master happiness." Finally, we ask that you grant him more peace as he transitions his energies to the next assignment. And for the incoming commander, Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Rivera, we ask that you empower him with your wisdom and compassion as he leads and cares for the soldiers of the 39th Movement Control Battalion. We ask that you empower him to lead like you, balancing both mercy and justice in all of his ways. Father, we also ask that you bless him and his wife Kristen as they enjoy life overseas and in his community. We thank you for these leaders and for our privilege to serve with them. Finally, we are grateful for all in attendance today. We are grateful for these events that cause us to remember the oaths we all took and our duty to serve others in this nation. I ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, Sergeant First Class Catherine L. Kidwell from the 1st Inland Cargo Transfer Company is now presenting a bouquet of red roses to Miss Kristen C. Cunningham. She will always have a special place in our hearts. The roses are in full bloom, symbolizing the beauty and fulfillment of her time with the 39th Transportation Battalion Command Team. At this time, Specialist Justin J. Tyler from Headquarters and Headquarters Detachment, on behalf of Lieutenant Colonel Anderson, would like to present his two sons, Nate and Chase, with a token to say thank you for their constant support throughout his career. At this time, Specialist Stacy M. Murray from Headquarters and Headquarters Detachment is now presenting a bouquet of yellow roses to Miss Kristen M. Zriga. These roses represent the battalion's warmest welcome and everlasting hope that her journey will spring forth new friendships and wonderful memories. With these flowers, we recognize that great units are more than the soldiers that make them up, but are strengthened by our family support. We deeply appreciate the role of our spouses in the difficult yet critical job of maintaining and improving the quality of life for our soldiers and families. Bugle calls have a marked place in military history. They have been used for hundreds of years in armies throughout the world to signal, alert, and inform soldiers and units. Your attention is invited into the line of troops where the action will prepare the soldiers of the United States Army. The action for today's ceremony is Second Scott D. Gottlieb, the 39th Transportation Battalion S1. The action will now bring the command's attention.
Bring your unit to attention!
The command sound adjutant's call is used by the United States Army to indicate that the adjutant, the officer responsible for accounting for soldiers and forming the unit, is about to form the command. It was first used by the Army in 1874. It advises subordinate commanders to prepare their troops for formation and follow on commands.
Sound adjutant's call!
The commander of troops, Major Michael J. Watkins, will now receive the formation from the adjutant.
Bring your units to present arms! Present move! Only present on. 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 Sir, the command is for. Mr. Clover.
The adjutant has completed the report.
Bring your units to order all! Gentlemen, order, move! Gentlemen, order, on! Order, on! Order, on! Order, on! Order, on! Order, on! Order, on!
The 39th Transportation Battalion was first organized in 1936 as a truck battalion into the 21st Quartermaster Regiment. It was converted and redesignated on 1 August 1946 as part of the Army Transportation Corps. The battalion went through many realignments but always remained a truck battalion with the Transportation Corps. During World War II, the battalion deployed to India and Burma. There, it participated in 2 major campaigns. In 1966, the 39th deployed from Fort Benning, Georgia to Vietnam and served in the areas of Quang Long, Giao Le, and Sa Nam. In Vietnam, the 39th participated in 13 major campaigns, including the head counteroffensives. The battalion returned from Vietnam in 1972 and inactivated at Fort Lewis, Washington. In February 1986, the 39th Transportation Battalion reactivated and assumed the mission it has today during the formation of the 1st Transportation Movement Control Agency and conversion of the 2nd Movements Region to a modified table of organization equipment battalion. The 2nd Movements Region was originally formed in September 1967 at Kaiserslautern, Germany, and was comprised of transportation movement elements of the former 594th Transportation Group, headquartered in France. Today, 39th Transportation Battalion is comprised of a headquarters and headquarters detachment, 6 transportation detachments, and 1 inland cargo transfer company located throughout Germany and Italy. The 39th Transportation Battalion has been awarded the Army Meritorious Unit Commendation, the Republic of Vietnam Cross of Gallantry with Palm, and 3 Army Superior Unit Awards.
Officers in color, sit down. March! March time, march! Group, halt, center, face. Adjusted, forward, march! March on, march! Adjusted, halt! Sir, the calls are present.
Shoot me your post and present command.
These not words.
I try.
Bring your units to reset arms! March on, march! 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 March on, march Adjustment. Present. All.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand and join us for the singing of the Republic of Germany and the United States National Anthem, sung by First Lieutenant George F. Engo from the 1st Inland Cargo Transfer Company and Captain Kelly C. Lovely from the Headquarters and Headquarters Company of the 21st Special Troops Battalion.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad streaks and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the guns bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Adjustment. All. All. Bring the initial all hands are ready. Run.
The very soul of a military unit is symbolized in the colors under which it fights, for the colors support the glories of the past, stand guardian over the unit's present destiny, and ensure inspiration for its future. History dictates that the colors lead the unit into battle. Key to any change in command is the passing of the unit's colors. The colors of the commander's symbol of authority, representing the responsibilities to the organization. The passing of the unit colors represents the transfer of authority from one commander to another. Command Sergeant Major Noyes, representing the backbone of the unit, passes the colors to Lieutenant Colonel Underton, having safeguarded the colors of the 39th Transportation Battalion Command Sergeant Major. Lieutenant Colonel Underton passes the colors to Colonel Kimber, thereby relinquishing his responsibility and authority. Colonel Kimber passes the colors to Lieutenant Colonel Rivera, signifying his trust in him and charging him with the responsibility of the unit, its soldiers, and its mission. By authority of AR 600-20, paragraph 2-5 Delta, Lieutenant Colonel Matthew C. Rivera assumes command of the 39th Transportation Battalion, effective 9 April 2021. Lieutenant Colonel Rivera returns the colors back to Command Sergeant Major Noyes, but continues safeguarding during his tenure as his Command Sergeant Major. Ladies and gentlemen, the 16th Distinguished Brigade Commander, Colonel Scott B. Kimber.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Excuse me. So, distinguished guests, those who are monitoring virtually or will watch the future post of this, hopefully on some social media, maybe to include General Mohan, General Williams, Sergeant Major Howard, but my bad buddy, Sergeant Major Becerra, Colonel Hirsch, Colonel Bain, Colonel Anastasi, Command Sergeant Majors, and Command Deputies. Hey, welcome to today's ceremony, and thank you for attending. But first, hey, let's give both Lieutenant Joe and Captain Lovely a wonderful round of applause for both renditions of those anthems. I guess Lieutenant just learned the German national anthem just a couple of days ago. So look, I realize the participants in today's ceremony had their vision when they had in mind for this changing command, right? We all have visions of soldiers on the parade field, troop in the line, colors, hugs, handshakes, friends and colleagues we haven't seen in a long time, showing up out of nowhere to honor us with their presence. But I will tell you, it's not the size of the formation or the type of ceremony that makes this day special. It's the two officers, it's the soldiers, it's the families, and our soldier families that make up this awesome formation, regardless of where or how the ceremony is performed, that we honor here today. A special thanks goes out to the families watching from the United States. Lieutenant Colonel Huntington's parents, Tony and Barbara, and his brother Eric and family. Good morning. We also have Lieutenant Colonel Rivera's Command Sergeant Major retired Frank Rivera on the line with us today. Sergeant Major Rivera, thank you for your service in the Vietnam that. But first, I'd like to start this day. The 9th of April is celebrated in a different way for a couple of individuals here today. Let's take a second for all of us to wish them a happy birthday. You see, today is both Colonel Huntington's birthday and my lovely wife, Heather, and they get to celebrate their birthdays today. So let's give them a round of applause. So today we say goodbye to the current Field Control Battalion Commander, Colonel Huntington and his wife, Kristen, Chase, and the family. We welcome Matt Rivera and his wife, Kristen, to the Stillwell Battalion. So, Brandon, as I wrote this speech this morning when we last night, I'm not going to lie, Brandon, it was difficult. It was difficult because how do I precisely articulate the impact you and Kristen's leadership has had on this Stillwell Battalion, to your 8 companies, to the families, to the brigade, to the 21st PSC, and our host nations. Brandon, your footprint extends from the North Sea to the Mediterranean Sea.
Throughout my battlefield circulations and travels to various ports, convoy support centers, LSAs, the Stillwell Battalion was there, operating, loading trains, trucks, barges, and even planes. I've always enjoyed talking to your soldiers and witnessing their accomplishments, and your impact was always present. Over the past 2 years, you and the Stillwell Battalion solved our boss's toughest missions. Here, just to name a few: best achievements, I could go on and on, is your Junior Leader Certification Program that certified more than 40 junior leaders in the rank of Lieutenant and E5. You are building the bench. You are building those who are going to replace us one day. Well done. Brandon, you have done such an amazing job to lead this battalion. I am humbled by this opportunity to be here today. But more so, I stand here impressed by the level at which you have taken the organization. You took this battalion to places that I'm sure not even you could imagine. You built the alliance by working with over 30 national movement control centers, enabled the freedom that General Cavoli and Major General Mohan expect of the 16th and those of the European forces. You have developed leaders that are building the concept of support for not just within our battle space, but for an entire nation. You have made this battalion ready and have supported readiness at multiple brigade fighting formations and multiple allied nations. You've made the battalion ready to execute as an expeditionary matter. You have made this battalion ready to serve along the alliance, and you have soldiers that continue to answer the call as we stand here today. This was made possible because of the support you had at home, Kristen, and family. Your leadership, your passion, and the care to the soldiers and families of the Stillwell Battalion were genuine, and what right looks like. Behind the scenes, I know the hours of emails, phone calls, planning, and attending meetings with other agencies so that you can fight for resources and make sure the voices of our families, your families, were heard and taken care of, and those of the soldiers as well. Thank you, Kristen. And Brandon, I have to be honest, after this ceremony, when the flags come down, you'll have the post-command blues. However, they are short-lived, as I know that you will realize for that very, very second or that short time, you were given this amazing gift, serving American sons and daughters. You can confidently look back and absolutely walk with pride and an overwhelming sense of accomplishment because you have placed people first and always accomplished the mission. Job well done. Happy birthday. All right. The 39th Movement Patrol Battalion is gaining another great command team. Lieutenant Colonel Matt Rivera and his wife Kristen are the perfect fit for this job. He knows the environment. He understands the operational and the strategic impacts this battalion can have, and he knows how to motivate and lead soldiers. What his bio doesn't tell you is that Matt comes from a strong military cloth that dates back to his grandfather, who served through the invasion and the occupation of the Japanese on Guam in World War II. It was his grandfather, Ignacio Rivera, who was part of the MAPA combat patrol, pushing the Japanese back. His father, retired Command Sergeant Major Rivera, a Vietnam veteran who is watching today in Florida, helped mold Lieutenant Colonel Rivera into this incredibly smart, strategic mind, dynamic, and energetic leader. I'm confident Matt will pick up the reins and lead the Stillwell Battalion to even greater heights. Matt, I trust that you will ensure this battalion is well trained, remains at a high readiness rate, and that you are ready for the challenges that come ahead. Matt, I know you will maintain the high standards of this great unit by ensuring our leaders and soldiers know what's the plan, what's the mission, and who's in charge. Finally, Matt, it takes humble leadership and a team of teams to be successful. Our families, our communities, are all of our team. They keep us strong. As I stand here among these giants, I would like to once again recognize the soldiers you see in front of you today and these commanders who represent the Stillwell Battalion, their families, and the best of what our nation has to offer, our sons and daughters. Stillwell soldiers, you once again set the standard. Deeds, not words, first in support.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing commander of the 39th Transportation Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Brandon H. Ungetine.
Sir, thank you for those kind words. Colonel Kinberg, Mrs. Kinberg, Command Sergeant Major Becerra, Colonel Hirsch, Colonel Bain, Colonel Anastasi, Command Sergeants Majors, distinguished guests, friends, and family of the 39th Transportation Battalion. thank you for attending today's Change Command ceremony. Success is only made possible through the development and maintenance of relationships. Therefore, I would like to thank a few individuals, groups, and partners who together we have made the impossible possible. There will be by no means a comprehensive list of contributors to success because we just don't have that kind of time. I would first like to thank God for the strength to lead this formation and for the blessings of the officers and leaders that stand before you today. Command Sergeant Major Noe, congratulations on the first class ceremony. You all have performed with distinction. Let's give them a round of applause. To General Mohan and Colonel Kinberg, it has been an honor and privilege to serve under your inspiring leadership. The trust and confidence you provided enabled this organization to flourish, develop and improve systems, and execute proofs of principle to increase transportation mode capability across the European Union. You enabled the exercise of mission command, allowing the organization to execute disciplined initiative, perform within your intent, and make decisions at the lowest level, ensuring success in the operation and exercises. I look forward to serving as your DCO, sir. Thank you, Command Sergeant Major Becerra, for your support during my tenure as Battalion Commander. I would like to thank my incredible wife, Kristen, for her unending support over these past 2 years. Over our 21 years of marriage, you have been my foundation and the one I can count on most through both good and bad. Although these past 2 years have provided many challenges and balance has not always been achieved, you have stood by my side. Thank you, and I love you. To my boys, Nate and Chase, you are growing more into young men each day. I am proud of you and eternally grateful to be your dad. I love you. To my parents, Tony and Barbara, and brother Eric, families, and on my wife's side, Tom and Michelle, and Susan McDonald, and families. Thank you for the love and support you provided to me and my family over this journey. It takes a team to execute theater-level support and ensure success. To the TSE and brigade staffs, thank you for your support, professionalism, and hard work as we together have navigated the many challenges of providing first-class transportation support across this and other continents. We have solidified our partnership with SPDC and the 598 Transportation Brigade. Together we have discharged and uploaded countless vessels, marshaled thousands of assets, successfully on removing this equipment, building combat power, and providing credible deterrence through the many RSOM and DTHS operations. Thank you, Colonel Hirsch and Command Sergeant Major Hood, for making this relationship easy and with a firm spirit of partnership. Colonel Bain, thank you also for your partnership between our two organizations. Together, we have deployed APS stocks to many locations across this theater, exercising systems and refining processes to ensure operative support to the sustainer and warfighter. To my fellow battalion command teams, I have valued our relationships, our candor, and friendships over this past 2 years. I wish you only the greatest success in your future endeavors. I have been blessed with 2 exceptional command sergeant majors during my tenure. You have been the cornerstone of our team, always providing sound guidance, setting conditions, ensuring discipline, and supporting the priorities of the unit. Command Sergeant Major Noe, thank you for your steadfast leadership, care for soldiers, and wise counsel. I truly appreciate your support and leadership and friendship. To my 4 Iron Majors, Jim, Bill, Melina, Mike, you have run this battalion. Each of you were fully committed and invested in the success of the Stillwell Battalion. I am successful because of your leadership and your ability to problem solve and find a way to win. To my 24 commanders and 18 detachment sergeants / first sergeants past and present, you operated where the rubber meets the road. I could not have asked for a better, more professional group of leaders watching you grow, and I was and will always, be in awe of the many things that you have accomplished in support of your soldiers, this battalion, and across Europe. Colonel Kinberg would say I'm biased. However, you're all nephews in our book. To my quiet professionals and some not so quiet, the 104 civilians that make up the 2,441 years of experience that are spread across 19 locations in 4 countries. You are the continuity of this organization and the professionals that keep things moving throughout Europe. Your commitment is unyielding, and you do not know the meaning of failure. You provide me the flexibility to forward deploy our units to the far reaches of this continent to support the warfighter. This theater is indebted to your devoted efforts. To Mr. Fisher, my 9th company commander, advisor to all things civilian, and a great friend, you are an incredible asset to this organization. You have established systems and managed our civilian population with class and finesse. I wish you the best of luck as you retire after 47 years of dedicated service to the U.S. government in November. To Mr. Giovanni Rivera, you have not shed your uniform yet, although you retired and you put on a different one. I have always considered you my 3rd field grade officer. I never once worried about operations or missions south of the Alps or support to the 173rd because you were leading the effort. Good luck as you transition to Texas later on this summer. The accomplishments of this organization are immense, and I cannot adequately recognize in this short summary. I may be again biased. However, I do not think that I'm overstating the importance when I say that the MCV mission in Europe is essential. Unlike other regions of the world where movements are less restricted, Europe will punish those who fail to plan and incorporate movement control processes within their plan. Simply put, sovereign nations get a vote. These leaders that stand before you and the formations of soldiers they represent have tirelessly managed the many hundreds of convoys, thousands of commercial line haul assets, rail and barge missions required to sustain this theater. I am proud to be part of their story. They provide the visibility to senior leaders and the clearance to cross borders. They have shown resilience during the COVID pandemic, maintaining the safety on our installations. They established and managed the first ever theater quarantine and ROM center on Reinhardt Barracks, allowing those PCSing in a safe environment to conduct and process. They provided more than 60 critical shipments of A&E to CENTCOM in support of priority mission sets. They set conditions for successful e-treats, enabling the rapid build of combat power and the shifting of critical assets to the point of need. They supported 13 brigade-sized RAF rotations and every operation and exercise within the theater's sustaining base. They worked with 30 national movement coordination centers to ensure the flow of equipment across borders. They supported equipment supporting AFRICOM priority missions. They are the 39th, Team Snowball, and I am honored to have served with them. I would like to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Matt Rivera and his wife, Winston, to the Stillwell family. Matt, over these past 2 months, we conducted significant travels across Europe, increased insight, shared experiences, and gained friendship. I am honored to hand over this battalion to someone I respect and know will take this organization to the next level. You are blessed, as this is a great organization with an extraordinary mission. Personal support, these not words, will give you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 39th Transportation Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Matthew C. Rivera.
Colonel Kinberg, Brandon, thanks for the kind words. Command Sergeant Major, thanks for putting together a world-class event. The team looks great. Please give a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, friends, and family of the Stillwell Battalion, thank you all for taking the time to join us today. Colonel Kimberg, Mrs. Kimberg, Command Sergeant Major Sarah, Colonel Hirsch, Command Sergeant Major Hood, Colonel Bain, Command Sergeant Major Constantino, and Colonel Anastasi. Mr. Fisher, Alex Menzie, thank you all for taking the time out of your day to join us. We are grateful for your support. I'd also like to thank my beautiful wife, Kristen, for supporting me over the past decade. You're the best, and I love you. I also want to thank my family. I wish you could have been here in person, but I want you to know that your love and support throughout my career has meant the world to me. I'd like to thank the leaders I've had along the way. Your mentorship, guidance, and friendship, coupled with your highly embellished OER comments, have gotten me here today. I would not be taking command without you and the influence you've had on me and my career, so thank you all very much for everything. Colonel Kimberg, Command Sergeant Major Becerra, Kristen and I could not be more excited to be back in the KMC to join your team and become part of this outstanding organization. The Stillwell Battalion stands ready to support the brigade in 21st TSC with premier execution of movement control support, with premier execution of movement control support to theater reception, staging, on movement and integration operations, and theater distribution in full spectrum environments. Lieutenant Colonel on the team, Brandon, and your lovely wife, Kristen. It's been a true pleasure for Kristen and me to get to know you both over the last few months. We really appreciate all of your insight and advice. It's obvious why the battalion has the outstanding reputation that it does, and your leadership has set us up for success. Thank you both. Finally, to the Stillwell troopers present and on the net, there's no greater responsibility in our Army than to command, and I'm up to the task of selfless service and commitment to our soldiers and our organization. I look forward to meeting you all and working with you and continuing to build on the outstanding reputation and tradition of excellence that this battalion has. First in support, deeds not words, will carry you.
Bring your units to attention! Detachment, up, head, jump! Detachment, hold! March! Sir, this concludes today's ceremony.
Take charge of the battalion.
We'll carry you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the 21st TSC song, the Transportation Corps song, and the Army song.
First in support.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending today's ceremony. Additionally, please congratulate Lieutenant Colonel Matthew C. Rivera and welcome him on the occasion of his change of command as the 39th Transportation Battalion Commander. And please farewell to Lieutenant Colonel Brandon H.